Hey, everybody. I wanted to take a minute today to talk about what I have found is the most important tool for managing unwanted behavior. The thing that gave me the most progress the quickest, helped me to stop doing the things that I was so ashamed of, was community. Getting together with other people, telling them my stuff, and letting them hear my story took the power out of my disease. It made it possible for me to stop doing the things that I was doing. Um, there's plenty of other things that I had to do also, but that was where it started. That was the first major thing that gave me the power to stop acting out. Community. You've no doubt heard of the various 12-step groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, Heroines Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Sexaholics Anonymous. I've been to a lot of the SA type meetings, the Sexaholics Anonymous meetings, and those were very helpful for me. Sitting in a room and telling a group of people the things that you're struggling with takes the power out of the sickness. It's a remarkable reality, and it starts with recognizing that you're not alone in this. Shame sends a message that you're the only one this bad, that you've got a secret that if the world knew, you would be shunned and you'd never be able to recover from it. That's the message that shame sends, that you are uniquely and fatally flawed. Well, getting together around a table and telling a bunch of other people that you've got a problem, and they all say, yep, I've got the same problem, helps you to learn that you're not alone. So that alone, right there, right out of the gate, undermines the power of shame and starts to show that there's hope. So telling others your secret undermines the power of shame. Super powerful. One of the most important steps that started me down the road to recovery. Also, as part of almost any of the 12-step programs, is the idea that you get a sponsor. So a sponsor is the person that you're going to try to make a call to each day. You're going to build a relationship with them. You're going to tell them the things that you struggle with. You're also going to do a full disclosure with that person. You're going to go through everything that you've done that you're shamed about and tell it to them. And they're going to hear you, and they're going to show compassion. And they're not going to reject you for it. They're not going to tell you how terrible you are. They're going to go, yep, I did a lot of that stuff too. And when you build a relationship with somebody who knows you, then that's another piece that takes the power out of the sickness. And it gives you hope, and you don't feel the need to act out as powerfully. The other very important element of having a sponsor is that you have a planned time that you're going to talk to them on a regular basis. And what you're going to do is you're going to call them up each day, and you're going to tell them what you're thinking, what you're doing, and what you're thinking of doing. And by doing that, again, it takes the pressure out of the system. It removes part of the desire to do those things, because the power of the sickness is in the secret. When you hold that secret in you and you're not telling anybody, you just can escape and go do this thing on your own. Nobody knows about it. So there's something about sharing it with a sponsor that removes the power of that secret. Something about sharing it with another group of people that removes the power of it. So going to others, connecting with them, becoming known, hearing their stories removes the shame and removes the power that's in the secret. Within Christian circles, a common idea is that the power of Christ is in the body of Christ. When I was alone and not telling anybody, it's like there was no power of God there to help me. I would pray, I would ask God, I would quote the scriptures, I would commit, I'm never going to do this again. But there's something about keeping it a secret that removed my resolve. But when I knew I was going to have to tell somebody or have a call with my sponsor that afternoon, it just it just went away. The desire to do it, it lost the strength that it once had. So while I still have the desires frequently to do something I shouldn't do, the power was gone behind it. It didn't own me anymore. So it's in the body of Christ, meaning the other people, that somehow that power manifested, that I was known and I could share with somebody. They'd put their arm around me and say, you can do this, that the desire was cut way down. I use a group called Samson Society, and they have a virtual setup, and a lot of the other 12-step groups too do also have a virtual setup, which means you can just meet in your phone and you see everybody else there in little squares on your phone or on a laptop computer. And so I travel a lot. I'm a pilot, and I can just go to my hotel room and go into a meeting at Samson Society. There's several meetings a day, and I just say, okay, the next meeting's in 2 hours. All right, good. I'll go to that meeting. And there's something about sitting in that meeting and telling people what I'm struggling with today that puts the right part of me back in control. The desire to do what I was going to do diminishes. All the thoughts that I had of what I was thinking of doing, they just dissipate. I laugh with friends, I connect with them, I hear their stories, I learn that I'm not alone, and all the stuff that I wanted to do just fizzles out. No, I don't want to do that. I want to have life. I want to succeed in this. I want to bless my wife. I want to bless my family. I want to succeed financially. Because when you share with other people, you realize, oh my gosh, that behavior cost this guy so much over here by doing that. And this person lost his wife, and I'm so glad I still have mine, etc. You will find reasons to celebrate your circumstance and to realize it's not so bad. And hell no, I'm not going to make it worse today by acting out. And you will find a new strength. When you connect with other people, you will get centered, you'll realize how important your life is, and you will decide to stick it out. One other thing that I've noticed makes a huge difference is simply talking. In the various 12-step groups, they generally have a rule that says no crosstalk. And what that means is that when one person is sharing, other people don't throw in their comments right then. You let that person who's sharing share their whole thought, and then at the end of that, nobody else even comments on it. You just move on to the next person. But what they do while they're sitting there is listen and empathize and hear. And it's like you're taking your pain and you're handing it out to this group, and they all carry it with you. And you do the same with others. And when you listen to somebody else's pain and shame, you actually feel better. Like it lifts you up while it's lifting them up. So the mere act of talking it out and not having a conversation, just talking it out strengthens you. So being heard strengthens you, and hearing somebody else strengthens both of you. So it's almost a supernatural power involved in sharing the things that you're struggling with, just talking it out without the crosstalk. There is a time for crosstalk. Therapy, very important. A therapist gives you an opportunity to talk it out. And if they're a good therapist, they'll do a lot more listening than they do talking. They might ask a question or two, and then it takes the pressure off to act out just by talking it out. We all kind of know what the answer is. We don't need a whole bunch of more solutions. We just need to remove the desire to go do these things that are hurting us. And there is an amazing amount of power in a community consisting of groups, consisting of friends that you talk to, like a sponsor on a regular basis, consisting of a therapist. Those are the most important aspects of a community. There's another element here of your spouse or significant other that It's important to disclose secrets too also, but do that in the context of therapy and with the trained therapist, because that's a very difficult conversation. And it's also dangerous and it's triggering to both people. Sharing with the person who you hurt is going to trigger them, and their response to that is going to trigger you. So you need more support on that. But when you're sharing in the context of a 12-step group, you are sharing with people who haven't been hurt by your choices, so they can give you a more neutral feedback and support you. And the same is true with a therapist. So again, most important recovery tool, first place to start is start becoming known. Build relationships, get into a community. And in that context, you will begin the steps of finding freedom. It's all over the internet. Go find a 12-step group. There's some in your community, and if there isn't, there's stuff online. Start there. Find a therapist, find a pastor, find a friend, start telling people, start becoming known. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next video.